Hi everyone. So I am in my car. Just have a little privacy and vent. So excuse me if I get emotional, but if you're a parent, then you will definitely understand why it's an emotional matter. So if you don't know me, self-employed, I'm a student, full-time college student. I have 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl. Excuse me. What do you want? Okay, thank yourself in the house. He in the house? So that's my little one interrupting me. I'm letting him play outside, past the street light sign. So excuse me. So anyway, being self-employed is not easy at all. And it's not necessarily a choice that I chose this life to be in. So I honestly never imagined myself being a business owner. Never even seen it. My dream was what I call the typical American dream: be married with kids, have a White House with a picket fence. And that imagination came from Major Payne, of course, the movie. So what started my journey of entrepreneurship was my oldest child. He has dealt with several mental challenges, from ADHD, ODD. I don't remember. I think he had a slight diagnosis of bipolar, but the main ones was ADD and ODD. I'm tired, y'all. But outside of that, life is a cycle. It is truly a cycle. And I say that because I remember when I was younger, my grandmother used to tell me, honor your mother, thy father, for your days won't be cut short. I remember that people used to tell me that, hey, whatever you do to your parents, be mindful of what you do, because it's going to come back to you 10 times worse when you start having your children. I remember my grandmother always saying, once a adult, twice a child. I remember her talking about death all the time. It was just something comfortable that she did. So to kind of fast forward things, so what got me into entrepreneurship was because of those behavior issues my son had, my oldest son that is, had at the time. I was working at Geico, and I was also pregnant with my last baby, who is now about to soon to be 8, rather. We're getting closer to his birth month. He's soon to be 8 years old. And oh my God, when I say he was horrible, I got calls almost every single day at work of him showing his natural butt at school. Teachers calling. We had to do so many changes with medication, trying to find the right therapist. And it truly makes a difference of who your child has as a therapist, because one thing I realized, and this is just my opinion, it's also my experience, okay? Having a son, even though I had a boyfriend at the time, his biological father was in prison. He stayed in and out of jail majority of his life, so that's like a non-factor. But even though I had a boyfriend, he did what he could to try to, advise me stuff. But at the same time, him knowing, hey, you're not my daddy. A lot of our sons are not really receptive to another male figure, especially when it comes to their mom. And he wasn't really receptive to my boyfriend, now ex-husband at the time. So that kind of, stepdaddy role didn't go so well, if that makes sense. Another thing was that because of his behavior, it did cause a ripple in my relationship, because he was doing stuff. He was running away. He started running away from home, started stealing money, started stealing my credit cards, started torturing his little sister, doing some horrific things. And I'm just like, God, Lee. And to be honest with you, his father did not have a great childhood at all. Like, everyone knew him to be bad, in trouble, always doing some of the thief. Everyone knew him to be like the Robin Hood or whatever. Like, he was just horrible. Like, no one really had anything good to say about his father, really. Here we are. I am tired. And I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. I'm gonna have to, but I have to get this off my chest. So I'm like, I'm going through this. And to be honest, I wasn't a perfect child. I was more of a troubled teenager. I was fast. I was sassy. I cannot say that I put my parents through as much as my son put me through. But to be honest, I felt like the sins of his father in the mix with mine, oh my God, that was Tasmanian devil all day long. Okay. It was just awful. And for me to have to deal with my son, and like I said, his father is in prison, so I had to deal with his sins and mine by myself until his family decided to step up and intervene, because they thought they could do a better job. But then when he left me, he ended up doing some treacherous things to them and some of their children. So yeah, it was awful. Another thing is, no mother wants to give up on their child. But I had been forced to be in a situation where a judge and defects told me, ma'am, you work so hard to take care of your children. You got a good job. You in college. You're trying your very, very best with what you have. If you do not let this one go, he will cause you an investigation on the other two, and you could possibly lose your other two children because of this one. So if his other family think they could do a better job than you, let them go. So I didn't have a choice but to do that, okay? And that's what happened. And also, he also wanted to be there, because you got to understand, when your child goes with their other side of the family or with their parental figure, a lot of times in their mind they was like, okay, well, I'm with this person. Oh, when I'm with this person, the dynamics are different. I can kind of have my way. They're not as strict as mom is with me, but they don't factor in you only been there for a limited time. Mom got to deal with you much longer. Mom got to deal with you on a continual basis. So that time period, from that time period and dynamics are different. But hey, you live and you learn. But I'm glad that we do have I'm gonna say, hit my son and his family, not his father. My son and his family, we have a good co-parenting relationship where, and it wasn't always like that, because trust me, I came from the baby daddy drama, auntie, grandma, all that. We was at each other's throats, baby, but it took growth to get past that and to do what was best for my son. Sorry, I don't even see. I think he at his friend's house. So it took a lot. It took a lot. So hold on. Adam, where you at? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had to make sure my baby's still outside, because I told him he can go with his friend's house, but tomorrow, because it's like almost 9 o'clock at night. So like I said, any parent love their child. You want the best for your child. And if you follow me, you know my story. I didn't have the perfect background. Hell, I had 2 biological parents that were living. I can't even really say they raised me for real. The community raised me. The streets raised me, you know. So if you know my story, you follow or whatever, then you know the dynamics. So I dedicate a lot to make sure that my kids don't have to live that same life that I live. I made mistakes. Like I said, I got skeletons in my closet. I done did some things I'm not proud of. I done, you know, like all of us, I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But that's my reality. That's where I'm at. So, but the biggest thing for me have always been family. I didn't grow up having all the pieces. I didn't grow up having a united family that we see on television, like the Tyler Perry movies, how tight-knit they are and close, and how your family show up for you, your goods and your bads. I didn't grow up experiencing that. So I've always valued family, and I valued it so much to the point that I was desperate to have my own, and got in a marriage that I should have just kind of let go, because it made me more miserable trying to hold on to something that really wasn't holding on to me. And also the desperation got into place, and because of desperation, I made a lot of bad decisions. I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't listen to God. I didn't do a lot of stuff that I was supposed to do, not only as a woman, but also as a wife. I have mistakes just as well as he has mistakes. I'm here openly to admit it, taking accountability for my part in it. But I will say this, I'd be damned, I didn't do nothing near what that man had done to me and put me through, and I definitely didn't deserve it. But neither here or there. I apologize for whatever part I took or whatever hurt I may have caused him, and he has done the same thing, and we co-parent just fine. We don't have no issues when it comes to my younger son. But back to the oldest. Something about having your first child, your oldest child, be the most difficult child that you have. The oldest child be the one that's most like you, or the darker part of you that you either didn't know exists or that you forgot existed. Because a lot of times when we're growing up, we tend to forget, and sometimes it's intentional, that we forget what we were like when we were younger, and things that we did when we were younger. And we tend, let me count that back. And sometimes we forget the hell that we put our parents through, and the intense and the emotion. And a lot of times when we're acting out, just like when our kids act out, they don't consider feelings. Feelings not even a factor when they're doing stuff that they know is going to bother their parents. They just know, oh, this is going to bother my parent. But they don't understand the full grasp of what that is that's being bothered. So last night, me and my oldest got into it. Now, mind you, I was actually getting on to all my kids, because I'm like, I'm out here busting my butt, running a business, full-time college student, still trying to make sure y'all good, y'all got a roof over your head, you got food on your back, because ain't nobody showing up for me. Ain't nobody really showing up for y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for the blessings that he has given me, and the people that has showed up for me, even the ones that showed up for me that I didn't expect to even bless me the way that they did. But we got into it last night, because although I'm getting on to all 3 of my kids, this oldest child decided to take it to a whole nother level and went completely disrespectful towards me as his mother. Like I was just a nigga on the fucking street. You hear me? And I was like, you know what? You 18. Technically, I don't have to do shit for you. I've tried to put you in not 1 but 2 vehicles. I pay for private school for you because you called me and was like, Mom, I'm having an issue with all this. Every time you had an issue, Mama always came. I said, every time, Mama always there. But since you think these other people got your back, let these people come move you out my house tonight, which was last night, And you go stay with them other people. Them same people you be playing these games and stuff with. You go stay with them. Motherfucker ain't having to call his daddy. Like that's supposed to did something. Mind you, we in the same goddamn city. Why the fuck your dad didn't come get you? Why you can't stay over there with him? And I'm like, when stuff get real, ain't nobody showing up for you but your mama. Ain't nobody gonna ever have your back like your mama. And I wish I could have said the same about mine, but unfortunately my mother lost her mind when I was 7 years old. So I never really had my mother to remember for real up to that age. That's all I remember. Matter of fact, she probably started losing her mind when I was about 6. But other than that, we were homeless. We were walking like from Macon to one of Robbins. Like that's a driving time, depending on where you are. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 45 minutes. We were bouncing from pillar to post, shelter to shelter. I was in foster care by 9. I was behind two grades because my mama didn't have me in school. We weren't stable. And mind you, my grandma had 10 children. 5 girls and 5 boys on my mother's side. Ask me, had any one of her siblings stepped up to try to help her? Nope, not a one. Ask me, did any one of my mother's siblings try to get me out of foster care? Not a one. No one came to rescue me. No one came to help me. No one came to help my mother. And even current day, they could come to me and talk to me, man, I wish I could have stepped up and did this. Well, why didn't you? It's like you just wrote your sister off and your niece too. I was just a child. I was innocent. Then later I find out the reason why DFACS intervened when they did when it came to me. Because my dad is the one, my biological father is the one that called DFACS, but then it took 3 years to come get me. So, I'm like, what the hell? What are we doing? But anyway, because of my trauma, because of my truth and my experience, I work very hard to try to make sure my children don't experience that. Now, there's a thing that history does repeat itself. It does. And it is slightly half with me. History has slightly repeated itself with me through my children. But when that happened, I had to surrender to God because that was the only thing. And I was truthful and intentional about it because I'm like, I know this ain't how I was raised. I know what I'm doing ain't right. I know the way I'm living ain't right. But it took me to surrender to God to make a change. I had to be put in a situation that no one could get me out of to turn my life around, to wake me up. And at the time, I just had my oldest son and my daughter at the time. It took something to really break me to make me change my life around. And I made up my mind a long time ago when my son was about 10 years old. As like I said, I'm going through all of this. And I said, you know what? He's just like his father. And that's not to say a bad thing, but everyone learns differently. Like, you could give them the best advice in the world. You could give them an ingredients or a recipe that could change everything. But unless it's coming from them, unless it's their idea, or unless they actually experience it themselves to know, oh, maybe I don't want to go that route. It's not necessarily you wasting your time, but you do feel that way. You do get highly frustrated, because I do. So I'm like, boy, I done gave you every single thing, offered you everything. 2 vehicles. I'm paying for private school. for you to get your degree that you should have, not your degree, your diploma that you really should have got last year. I didn't get my first car till I was 22 years of age. And no parent got it for me. I had to get it myself. If it wasn't from my godmother, rest in peace, to allow me to take the driving test, to use her car and take the driving test, I don't know where I'd be. But I thank God for allowing her to take a chance out on me so I can do what I need to do for me and my kids. I do. I thank God for her for that. So, last night, like I said, he got real disrespectful, telling me to leave him alone, telling me don't talk to him, telling me in my house where I pay bills, well, ain't nobody showing up. It ain't like I'm getting some child support. Because, hell, even before he turned 18, I don't want to get no child support. But I'm still showing up for my kid. God's still making a way. I'm still on my knees praying. I'm still on my knees saying, all right, God, you made me a mother. You gave me these children, and you said that to be a mother is a blessing, and that you chose my womb to be a mother to these 3 children. So I need you to help me see it through. I declare and I decree that you gonna make a way for me and these kids. Because I can't do it without you. I can't. Too many people has came and gone in my life and failed me. Completely disappointed me. And y'all, my heart was broken. And for my son to just say the things that he said and was like, you ain't did nothing for me and all this and that. I'm like, nigga, who else done it? That was me and God. Where these people at? Why they ain't showing up? You been here all day. Ain't nobody came and got you. Why? It hurts as a parent because you want the very best for your child and you want to make sure that they're superior. But sometimes, and I have to accept this, and like I said, my feelings was very hurt and I had to cry to God. I had to cry to God. I couldn't talk about it. I had to cry to God. I was like, all right, I got to step out the way. Because now I have an adult child. I have an adult, y'all. And it's a cold where I will never forget when I turned 18. And I seen, it's like, when I turned 18, it's like my eyes flashed before me. I was like, oh my God, this is really what it's like. This is really what the club is like. This is what drinking is like. This is what smoking is like. Oh, so this how y'all be hooking up. Oh, this stuff dangerous. Let me go back to that child playing my PlayStation 2 at the time. Let me go back to that child was, I think Xbox was, no, Xbox was not then. If it was, I may be wrong, but I know I had a PlayStation 2. And then I was more so hung on PC games. Let me go back where I could just go to high school, hang out with my friends while I'm at the school. We may link up that afternoon, go watch 106 in Park, MTV, VH1. Let me go back to putting the cassette tape in the radio while the radio station playing and I'm recording the song on the cassette tape. Let me go back to ride my bicycle around town, getting ice creams and snacks and stuff and digging change out my daddy bin. Let me go back to that. Unfortunately for me, there is no time travel where I could go back to. I got to keep moving forward, and that's the painful thing, because when we was living in that time, when we had that, now we can't go back to that. And now my father's deceased. My mom's still living, but I'm her caretaker as the oldest child. 13, 14, and 15 years senior to my three little sisters. So that's just more responsibility. Life has its challenges, y'all, but
Second question. Are you and Saka still together? No, I filed for divorce July 30th. And like any man going through a divorce, I got me a Harley.
So, sorry y'all, that caught my attention. If y'all watch Dalton Ain't Worried and Saka, they're an amazing couple. I was following them for a while. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the internet about them. I don't know. But that just caught my attention because he just made the post saying that him and Saka are getting divorced. And I'm just like, okay. Alrighty, are you now telling the truth? Because I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I wish I had some of the old heads I had in my life, like my godmom, who's passed away. I think it's going on 4 years. My grandma passed away, but she had dementia prior to that, at least 5 years. But I still would love to see her because I would reminisce and remember stuff she used to tell me about. Like, you can never really go in her house without hearing a Bible scripture. She gonna read it or say something to you with the Lord. She wasn't perfect because she'll cuss you out quick, but she still loved the Lord. I wish I could go to my daddy and talk with him and vent. But the truth be told, if my daddy was still here, I wouldn't be going through none of this. Because I know he would have got Keith or whatever, because Keith is his firstborn grandchild. And he did, closer to his last days, try to spend more time with him, hang out with him, teach him stuff that a man would do, and he enjoyed that. He absolutely loved that. Matter of fact, Keith would have probably stayed with him instead, and you know, we worked stuff out amongst family, because that was one of the things my father was proud of. He's like, you're a Lawson. And I never truly knew what that meant until now I have to empathize it. Like, look, my name is Ashley Lawson. Okay, that name gonna hold some weight because I work hard for it to hold some weight. I have some credentials behind my name. I'm staying in school. I try to be the best person I could be to not only give my children a real life example, but to also make sure that I'm sufficient enough to cover and help every one of my customers as well. It's important to me. It's my passion to help and serve people. But it hurts, man, because I mean, I told my son, I was like, look, just go to your other folks, figure out life. One thing you're not gonna do is disrespect me. And I say it's hard because now, after everything he said, I'm not gonna mistreat him or nothing. I mean, that's my child, regardless. But I do have to make him stand on his word, because he is now a man. I have to make him stand on it, and I have to mean business. And just like I don't play with my customers, and I don't play with, you know, how we handle stuff, I gotta do the same thing with my own child. And since he is now of adult age and I can't make him do anything, it's up to him, right from wrong. I did always explain to them, once they become an adult, if they get in any legal trouble, don't call me, because I ain't got the bed money. So to be cautious and make decisions, and thoroughly when you have multiple children in the home, you got to do what you can to save the rest or whatever. So I will be moving to another home soon, if he has not figured out what he want to do, because he ain't even apologize. He didn't say, Mom, I'm sorry, or Mom, I'm seeing what you're trying to tell me. And that's fine. Maybe you have to learn it, you know, in a year or two, maybe 6 months, I don't know. Maybe you got to see life and people for what it really is to realize who really had your back and who you should not have shitted on, because at the end of the day you had a roof over your head. The only thing I've ever asked him to do was finish high school, get a license, get a job. This is. And he has not been successful in any of those things. And I told him, I was like, look, everybody's not going to be there to help you. You got to learn to apply yourself. You got to learn to kind of research stuff on your own. You have to be the one to do that. You can't say, oh, I need help all the time. Especially with you being a man or a man. You get you a woman and he tells me, I like other women, Ma. So, okay, well, you better sign up, because ain't nobody trying to raise no man. Get your head on right. But it's just hard because I know this is something that I have to do. I have to let him go. I have to let him go out to the world and be a man and make those decisions and learn from life the realness of this world, the realness of responsibility, the realness of what you have to do to survive. And that's what hurts the most. I thought I'd be crying because I was like, man, I need to do this YouTube, and I know I'm gonna be crying, but I guess I'm getting better with time. But it's hard being a parent. It's so hard being a parent, especially when you have a child that is grown. Y'all should have told me. Probably did, but hey, I'm just not getting to that point. Okay, so I am getting ready to sign off. I cooked my children some dinner, some fried chicken and macaroni and cheese, because that's what my daughter, she's like, Mom, I want some homemade macaroni and cheese. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, well, since I had most of the ingredients at home, I was like, I'll do the macaroni and cheese. And then I just took out some chicken and just fried some chicken for them. So they had macaroni and cheese and fried chicken. I smell like fried chicken all over. And it's been probably a year since I fried some chicken. Like, I eat fried foods, but me cooking it myself, it's been a minute. But moms, parents, entrepreneurs, it's hard out here, but we can't give up. One of the things my friends reminded me today, they was like, Ashley, you've been going through a very tough time for a very long while, and I told you that you ain't going through these tough times for no reason. God's about to bless you. And when I had issues with my Honda, my AC went out. I was like, this is my only vehicle right now. I can't afford to put in the shop, because now mechanics want you to sit the vehicle, park the vehicle with them for 2 or 3 days, and that's my only form of transportation. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I've been dealing all summer long, damn near no AC. My uncle has tried to put Freon in it, the leak stuff in it, and it still won't do right. And blowing a hole, God blessed me with a 2026. And my uncle helped me get the vehicle, and I really thank God for that. He was there every step of the way, and he was like, baby, because you helped me through so much, you helped this entire family through so much, you deserve it. And that's another thing. Even though I just shared with you how no one showed up for me when I was younger, here I am as an adult, not holding any grudges, showing up for everybody else and being there for them the way that I wish people were there for me. But I'm gonna tell you something, don't hold a grudge, because we never know why God has you going through what you're going through for a reason. Because I really lived the life of a black sheep, and I was counted out. I was cast out. I felt like I was the ugliest woman in the world. I feel like no one ever wanted me. And for a time period, I felt suicidal. I wanted to kill myself. I'm like, what's my purpose of being here? And do I still have those thoughts now? Not really. But I went through a very dark phase of questioning myself and my entire existence and my purpose. Like, why? I want to be happy. I want to be loved. I want to be wanted. I want to be someone that someone could truly love and accept and not cheat on or hurt or manipulate or steal from. But I kept fighting. I didn't give up. And just like I'm fighting now in this battle called parenthood, I'm still fighting in life. I'm still fighting in existence. I'm still fighting. But I was blessed with a 2026 vehicle. And here we are dealing with my son. That's a whole nother emotional thing. You know, one of my friends was like, girl, I already told you it's gonna get worse before it gets better. She said, just keep going. Just keep going, keep pushing. Because you about to be blessed again. But God had to test you to see if you was gonna curse him or you still was gonna trust him in the process. And she said, you never gave up. You kept trusting God. You kept depending on him. You kept praying on him. You kept magnifying his name. No matter what, he came through. And I was like, you're right. It's easier said than done. But I'm telling you, just stay in the game. Keep fighting. We got this. It's raining real good. So hopefully I get some real good sleep tonight. I really do want me a strong Coca-Cola right now. But I do need to lay off the soda a little bit. But part of me like, ooh, that strong Coca-Cola gonna really hit the spot when I go to bed. You know, just that nice, strong, big kick down your throat. Fresh bottle Coca-Cola. Oh my God. But the thing is, if I buy myself one, I gotta buy these little midgets one. Well, they technically ain't a midget, because to be honest, all my kids gonna be taller than me. My oldest already 6 foot. My daughter, she's almost my height now. And then my son, he coming right behind her. He ain't even 8 yet. Jesus. So I already know I'm gonna be looking up at all them children. But it's okay, because I looked at both of my parents and they were both taller than me. And I'm like, both of y'all tall. I came out average. But neither here or there. That's my truth. That's all I have for tonight. As much as I want a Coke, I'm too tired to go driving. I do not like driving when I know I'm tired and I know I'm sleepy. But I'm just sitting here in the car with lights on talking to y'all, so it's safe. I'm right in front of my house, or whatever the case may be. So, till next time, trust God. Keep pushing with me. Y'all, we not by ourselves. Stick with me.